Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your favorite Scream Queen from Halloween, Danielle Harris, and you're hanging with Galaxy on Comic-Con Radio.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Comic-Con! Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe. Amazing interviews with celebrities. Daily recaps and reviews of popular television. Movie reviews. Everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy for another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Today we have a wonderful and amazing guest. Now let me tell you, ladies and gems out there, lovely fans, I am a fan of her. I've watched her movies since I was a wee little lad. And she is an icon in that industry that she's in. Very gruesome, very horror. Welcome to Scream Queen, Danielle Harris on Comic-Con Radio. Danielle, what's up?
Hi, hey, how are you?
Good. Well, I wanted to do a tremendous kind of, introductory for you because you deserve it. You're an icon in your field, in your universe. I call Comic-Con my universe, but horror movies are your universe. So
that is true.
It is. You have that face that everybody recognizes. You've been around. But before all the horror stuff started, I remember you on a very cool movie. It's called Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead.
That's right.
And
that's one of my faves.
Yes. So, was that one of your first movies that you landed?
Actually, I did both Halloweens before I did that one. And then I did March for Death with Steven Seagal, and then Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. So I think that was my fourth movie.
And The Last Boy Scout. Don't forget that. Yes.
And that followed quick after that, yes.
Now, Last Boy Scout, you were phenomenal on that movie. The daughter of Bruce Willis. There you go. How can we forget? Bruce Willis. You know that part's going to be cut out. But anyways, you played a daughter of Bruce Willis on that movie. Damon Wayans is in it.
Yeah.
Your characters that you play, to me, I feel that you are a character actor. I know you don't wear these crazy costumes or anything like that, but I think you follow that line. Is that true?
I think I'm kind of probably a little bit of each of the roles that I play. I definitely was a sassy kid and a little more on the tomboy side. So I Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead was probably close-ish to how I really was.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. So you are a native New Yorker. You were born there. You grew up there. You're a child actor. How old were you when acting came in your mind and you're like, this is what I want to do?
I'm still trying to figure it out. That's what I want to do. I just sort of fell into it. You know, my mom was, I guess she said I wanted to do it when I was young, and I started and sort of went from there, and then just really liked being on set and liked making movies. But I started about 7 years old, I think was my first commercial. I started in print and commercial, and then I was on a soap opera as a kid, and then went on to do the Halloween movies.
There you go. And Halloween has stuck on you forever.
Yes, it has.
Scream Queen. When did that come about?
You know, I don't even know when that really started. Because, I started my career doing the Halloween movies, but then I didn't do anything in horror for about 20 years. I think I just did Urban Legend was the only movie that I did in between that time. And then I didn't get back into horror until 2007. So even though that seems like it's 2020, so that seems like a long time ago, but it really wasn't. It doesn't feel like that long ago. So I think once I kind of relaunched my career in the franchise, that people started calling me a Scream Queen.
Of course, because you played in such iconic movies. I think it came about when social media got big and people were able to express towards you. Have you noticed a change in your following ever since? Because I know you're before social media. Have you noticed something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, actually, it's funny. I just took an Instagram masterclass the other day because I feel old and I don't really know how to work the social media and, I don't know. I'm just not really good at that stuff. So I have to figure out, like, what does it mean to do a story and how do I, follow people and oh my God, it's just ridiculous. So I'm learning. So yeah, so my time is before social media for sure, which I'm kind of glad about. And, I think, like you were saying, people like I kind of hit both generations. I've got the older Halloween fans that are around my age, then I've got the new generation with the remake. So I've been able to see both sides of it. But I definitely am like, wow, this is crazy. How do people still care to talk about me in these movies? Because it seems like it's just so long ago. But there is a crazy, awesome following, and I'm forever indebted to it. That's for sure.
They will never forget you. What are you talking about? You're in such iconic movies. And here's the thing. You talk about 20 or 30 years like it's nothing. You're still a young person. It's just because you've been working in movies since you're like a child, So,
for sure.
Yeah. You're not like 60 years old or something like that. You're still
very young. Not there yet.
And you're rocking it still. And you've been in a lot of movies since you said a comeback into horror. You've been like into iconic movie after iconic movie that has crazy followings.
I mean, I think I just found my niche, like I was sort of trying a bunch of different things and doing a bunch of different things and a little fish in a big pond, and when I think I focused on what it was that fans wanted to see me in and what I felt most comfortable in, it was horror movies. And I mean, that's the best fan base that, sci-fi, horror, fantasy. Look, we're on Comic-Con radio. This is it. That's got the best fan following ever. So I'm happy in the place that I'm in for sure.
This is your universe, and we love you, and that's it. You can't go anywhere
Thank
else. We're
you.
not gonna let you go to some Christmas
I know you're
movie.
not.
We're not gonna let you do any of that stuff. You've worked with the best. Rob Zombie, Tarantino. It's just the list goes on and on and on. People need to understand that you are the horror gal. I know your Instagram is called Horror Gal, but you are Horror Gal. You're the epitome of it. With that said, I know you've been to a ton of Comic-Con events and these type of fan-based stuff. Which one is your most favorite?
Oh, geez. I mean, nothing beats Comic-Con San Diego. That's just next level. Most of the ones are more just horror focused. The UK shows are always really cool. Any chance to kind of get out. I'm going to Atlanta this weekend for Days of the Dead. So anytime I get to sort of go to a big city and my best friend is coming to hang out with me and to help me take care of my 1-year-old. So, which I do travel with my kids. That's important. So, it's nice to just be able to kind of go everywhere. So I don't really have a favorite, but I tend to have the most diehard hardcore fans on the East Coast. So I definitely like my East Coast shows. But Comic-Con in San Diego is pretty amazing.
There you go. Well, you know what? They're all amazing. They take their time out of their day. They wait in lines. They wait in lines for 4 hours. They put that time and effort just to see somebody and shake their hand and give them a hug or a signature. So it's a lovely situation. And when you do go to these events, I know you get a lot of love, but do you have your favorites, or is there any people that reach out ahead of time that are like, I have to meet you? You've been a lifelong dream of mine.
I mean, it trips me out when people get emotional when they meet me for the first time. It's like, I'm just a normal person, so I don't ever really think about that kind of stuff. Me being an actress is that's just what I do. That's my job. So I don't really I don't know. It still trips me out. That's for sure. There's definitely some fans that get super emotional or they can't talk, or they come back on a Sunday after I've been there for 3 days. They're like, I finally worked at the nerve to come meet you, and it's funny to me. But I know John Cusack is going to be at this one that I'm going to this weekend, and I'm freaked out and so excited to meet him. And I probably won't go anywhere near him, but I'll just turn him from across the room.
Well,
so I get it. I've been on the other side too.
Well, I hope he hears this, or his team, and they get to know that.
Oh,
and
God.
they're
Oh, God. See, I'm all
you
nervous
never know who's
now.
listening. We have a lot of crazy people listening. Well, not crazy, lovely. Let's put them lovely.
Yes,
I don't
yes,
want to get any
yes.
emails
Crazy
later
in a
saying,
good way.
hey, what did you... Anyways, you know, I know you can't see yourself that way. You're a mom of two. You're a wife. And,
Yeah.
you know, I know you don't see yourself like that. It's okay. But sometimes you got to really understand. You've been in a lot of great movies that people have really connected with. Has things changed ever since you became a mom?
Yeah, there's definitely I travel with my kids and my family comes first, and I've learned to sort of like share more. It's hard, like you were saying with social media, like trying to figure out that balance between, I think I have the best fan base because I have been really normal and accessible and real. So it's just kind of finding that, like, do people really want to see pictures of me and my kids? Because that's kind of what my life is really like. Or do I post, me covered in blood? Like, what's really me? Because the reality is I'm both of those things. Part of me is does the job where I'm in leather and covered in blood and killing people, being killed. And the other part is at the park with my kids wearing my sweatpants. So I like to sort of show both of those sides. So there's definitely more pictures of me in my sweatpants with my kids than there is of me covered in blood since I've had kids. That's for sure.
Well, you know what? When your kids start going to school, you're going to probably have some moms saying, hey, I grew up watching your movies. They're going to say that.
I wonder, like even at my kids' school now, like they're right around that age, like for example, my youngest one's teacher over Christmas, they have a list that says like, oh, these are what we like, because they know students are going to get them stuff. And his new teacher wrote in his little profile that one of his favorite things was horror movies. And my son was just transferring to his class, and I thought, this is a great way to get my kid to get like that extra special attention. So, because he'd never said anything to me about knowing who I was or what I had been in. So I signed a copy of Halloween 4 and 5 on a DVD and put it, wrapped it up and gave it to him and said this is so he takes good care of my son Jagger. And he was like, oh my God, totally excited and freaked out afterwards. He never said like that he knew me before I gave it to him, but I have a feeling that they kind of all maybe talk about it, but nobody wants to really say anything because it's not cool to maybe say something, because they're watching my kid every day. But I think it's pretty cool.
Well, with your kids going to school and all that, are you kind of nervous because your kids are going to watch all your movies? Are you nervous that you did well on them? Are you going to be like, oh, they're the biggest judge of my character? Are you nervous about that? Or are you excited to share your movies with them once they're
I can't wait till they're grounded and I can show them the movie for the first time and be like, look at your mom. This is what is going to happen.
I'm cool.
This is your mom. Look how I kill people. Do not mess with me. So
they're never
going to
act
traumatize them yet,
You're going to be the parent that they're afraid of, not your husband. They're going to be like, Mom kills people.
They're already afraid of me. Trust me. I'm the bad cop, that's for sure.
Oh, there you go. It suits the role. But, I saw a photo of you on Instagram, and you're sitting in between Eli Roth and Tarantino, and you're wearing a sombrero, and you're excited. What does that picture mean to you?
I was just so... again, like I've known Eli since before he had done anything, when he was doing claymation, like short films. And in his eyes, I was like, oh my God, Danielle Harris from Halloween, so I've seen like his career just explode. So he's still just like Eli who like, in me, he's like just an old friend. And I'm just super happy for his success. Quentin, on the other hand, is like, oh my God, this is Quentin Tarantino. But at the same time, like I went over to Quentin's house when we were first becoming friends, and I had said I'd never seen From Dusk Till Dawn. And he was like, you've never seen From Dusk Till Dawn? And he put it on his TV and we watched it together. And he looked at me and said, I can't believe I'm watching my movie with Danielle Harris. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm sitting on Quentin Tarantino's couch having a margarita watching his movie. It just completely blew my mind. So again, like they're just like, they love me like I love them. So it feels just, I don't know, it fills my heart with love, and it's a pretty cool life I live in, a pretty cool universe, I think, that I have been able to surround myself with. So I'm a very, very lucky girl to have friends like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that picture.
Now, if Eli would just put me in a movie.
He's gonna. He's doing a lot of cool things these days again.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of cool things. Then he took some time, and he wasn't in a Shark Week thing and a bunch of other stuff. And then now things are starting to come out again. So I think the era of horror is huge. I'm currently writing a horror TV series myself.
Great.
Yeah.
Send it my way.
Yes.
Send it my way.
You know what else is cool about that picture? The person that liked it almost first was Greg Nicotero. What a cool feeling.
Oh, I love that. Yes, Greg. So, obviously I did Halloween with Greg, and Greg was like my dad figure for a long time, and taught me how to drive, and bought me a guitar, and, just really cool. I mean, I love Greg. Again, another one that I'm like, hey, what? Put me on The Walking Dead, Dad. What's going on? So, but there's this kind of cool separation. We all love each other, but there isn't it's cool that I can call him and say that kind of stuff. But, at the end of the day, we're just kind of like family friends.
I think if you would have been on The Walking Dead from the beginning, you would have been too big for the show, because the show took a little bit. I know the comic book series was amazing, and after a couple of years they got a TV series, and there was a lot of these new-faced actors. I think if you would have been on it in the beginning, it would have been just about you, I swear. But I think now
it might have been. It's funny, is Greg and I went to dinner actually before the show came out, and he said, I want you to meet my buddy Frank Darabont, and he's doing this TV series, and they give you perfect for one of the roles. And then it ended up being, at the time I was in my 30s, even though I played younger, and I ended up not having going and meeting up with him, because he said, oh, Frank thinks that just because if the show goes for 10 years and you're already in your 30s, you kind of can't play like a teenager into your 20s, and even though I probably could have. So maybe one day our paths will cross again in that way.
Well, now if you go on it, it's going to explode to the next level. So if Greg Nicotero is listening, I think you should be.
Yeah, put in a good word for it.
It needs you. Everybody's leaving. Andrew Lincoln's leaving.
I know.
Leaving. This guy, that guy.
I
it's
know.
Still cool, but if you go on it, it's going to be amazing. But we'll leave that to that conversation.
Send it, put it out in the universe.
Let's do it. I just did it. Okay. Here's the thing. I get a lot of guests on my show, and when I say certain things, it sometimes happens. It's so weird. So I want to keep that 50-0 record. So I hope, if not The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. If not that, their new Walking Dead universe TV series or one of their movies, something like that. But I think if you do go on it, you're going to steal the show, just because you're already known as the horror gal. Besides that, I know you said you're new on social media and you're trying to make things happen. I know the fans love you at events and stuff like that. I know you go all over the world. So what do you do on your days off?
Let's see, on my days off.
Except you taking care of your children, of course, that is given.
That's pretty much the extent. I mean, I'm like a total mom wife. I get up, take care of the kids, get them up to school. I mean, this morning, what did I do? I went to the dermatologist. I went to Best Buy, and I actually bought a selfie stick. That's how lame I am, because I'm like, maybe I'll shoot some stuff of what I do at a convention, because fans are always wondering what I do with my days, you're asking me now. So I put that in a little microphone that I can attach to my phone. And I also bought a new phone case, because I just dropped my phone the other day and smashed I don't know if it was me or my son. One of them, somehow my phone got smashed, so I just had to replace my screen. And then that's it. I'm doing an interview with you, and then I'm going home and getting out some orders that I actually have some really cool new stuff in my DanielleHarris.org store. So I got out getting out some orders and, running errands, and I'll cook dinner. I'm going to pick up my kid early today, because I am leaving to go to Atlanta, and I'll probably take him to the park to feed the ducks and go get some frozen yogurt, come home, make some sloppy joes for dinner, and get my kids in bed by 8 and watch some Netflix. So I'm just like you.
You're just like everyone else, right? And that's why I think the lure of the attraction of all the fans, because you are living such a normal life that you have on social media, and then in the movies you play these hardcore roles. And these iconic different situations in movies. You know, I don't want to ask you who's your favorite director, who's your favorite writer, because a lot of these people are your friends. Like you said, they're kind of like a father figure or this or that. But what was your most favorite movie that you worked on? Maybe top three. I can't say favorite. I don't want you to, get in trouble with your buddies. But what was your top three movies?
Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter was probably my favorite. Just because I could be a kid, I didn't have we would go swimming on our lunch break, and we'd play Nintendo and in our school trailer, and because normally it's just I'm kind of the only kid. Like when I grew up doing movies, I was really the only kid in a lot of these movies with a bunch of adults. So I didn't have that set experience. I was treated like an adult. So Don't Tell Mom, I was definitely a kid, which was a nice break for me. Then I would say I did a movie called Wish Upon a Star for Disney, with Katherine Heigl, where we switch bodies. It's like a Freaky Friday sort of thing. So that was another favorite of mine because I could just, hang out with Katie Heigl and be like a normal 20-something-year-old. And, oh, God, I did a movie called Daylight, actually, with Stallone, and I got to live in Italy for 6 months. So while that was probably one of the most challenging physically because, it's a disaster movie and, your 6 months of doing a disaster movie is, horrible. But when you're, in, 5 feet of water every single day and you're only 5 feet tall, so you have to swim to your mark on set, it's not fun. But it was still a pretty amazing experience. So that would probably be, I can't even put Halloween in there. I obviously, the experience of working on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and with QT was, just unbelievable. Just get to see how he works, which I'd always wanted to do. So I've had I've learned from a lot of different people, that's for sure.
Wow. I know you probably have some amazing stories, and I know there's tons of them from all the movies you worked in. So can I ask you, on any of these movies, what's an incredible moment that happened, like something that you'll never forget?
Oh, geez.
There's probably so many, I know.
Crazy. God, I don't even know. It's like it goes by so fast. It's like while it feels like forever when you're shooting, and I've got so many little pieces just popped into my head. I was doing a movie of the week actually for ABC called The Woman Who Loved Elvis, and it was with Roseanne and Tom Arnold, and I played their daughter. It was directed by Bill Bixby, who is obviously, the Hulk and one of the most amazing men and directors and human beings I'd ever met in my life. And Roseanne came up and said, "Hey, you want to be on my show?" I was like, "No, I don't want to be on your stinking show." And she looked at me funny, and I was like, "Of course I want to be on your show." And I thought it was going to be one episode, and I'd never done a live audience show in my life. And then they came back, later that day and said it was a 3-year contract. And I was like, I just blew my mind that I could create a relationship with someone on a personal level, and they would want me to be part of something as big as their show was. She saw something in me that, I didn't even know that I still don't love the job I did on that show because I've never done comedy or live audience stuff. But it was, and then it never continued after the first season with my character. But the fact that she gave me that opportunity and I got to be on a show like that, which was in its prime time at that time, was a pretty awesome experience.
Well, you did great on it by our standards, so it's all good.
Thank you.
Well,
playing the bad girl.
I picture you in a Marvel movie. I picture you in an X-Men movie. You could be one of the X-Men characters. But if you had a choice to be in a superhero movie, which one would you be in? And what superhero would you want to be?
Geez. I got to base it off my kids. My kid is obsessed with Batman. So I got to go Michael Keaton Batman. Back in the day, I would definitely be in that era, in that franchise. That's for sure.
Okay, so Batman it is. And the reason why I said X-Men is because X-Men, each one of them have such individual characters and they express themselves. So that's why I said that. But Batman's amazing. The Dark Knight. See, look, you lean towards the dark side always.
Yes, always.
The Force is with you. I got to put some word puns in there.
I got to keep Gotham City. Gotham City has to be fun.
We have to geek out still. So with that said, have you ever been through any paranormal situation in any movie?
No. I mean, I film in some creepy places, where they say there's ghosts, but I've never had anything crazy happen, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, because if you said yes, people will be driving you crazy at events, asking you what's up. There'll be like ghost hunters calling you left and right.
Oh yes, I've done a couple of those shows. Yeah, for sure.
You're like, hey man, I've done everything. Well, with that, do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. There's been weird things that have happened, like in my house and stuff. My other homes I've lived in, like radios turning on and off, or weird light stuff, or I have an issue with electronics. They always break, or when I'm around, they don't work right. My husband always goes, "Get away, get away." Everything was working fine until you walked in the room. So there's something going on there. I don't know what it is, but something's happening.
So that's paranormal.
I guess.
So fans,
yeah.
Come on, look, that's paranormal. She was trying to hide it, but it came out. And
yeah.
So, getting away from the paranormal and all that stuff, a little paranormal. If someone asked you if you believe in aliens, what would you say?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I'm petrified.
Wow. Why? What
100%.
petrifies you?
I don't know what it is. I'm just like, if it even comes on TV, I have to change channel. So I don't know, maybe it's like, I don't know, ghosts don't freak me out as much as, I don't know, maybe because aliens are like actually physically like here, where I know a ghost is not going to actually do anything to me. At least I don't think. At least I hope not. And a ghost could be a good thing. I don't know. I can't. Aliens are a no-go for me.
You're like,
I don't even know if I could do a movie where there were aliens in it. Even if they were fake. Of course they're going to be fake, but I don't know. It would freak me out.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's pretty freaky. It's pretty scary. And, this world is amazing. I asked that question to everyone because I want to hear their side of it, especially with yourself. Next time they see you. So when
Probably.
Yeah. So when you're on a movie set, especially something like a horror movie set, do you sometimes lose track that it's a movie? Do you sometimes really fall into the character, dive into that world? Sometimes does it go that far with you?
No, not really. It's situational. My characters are usually in like these fight or flight situations, so I try to shake it off as soon as we're done with that scene. That I'm normal in between takes, and I definitely don't want to live in those roles and get to into method character stuff. That's not a good place to be with the movies that I do. That's for sure. I keep a quick separation.
That's good. Imagine if you go home with an axe in your head.
No way. You don't want to go home with me.
So when you met your husband, I know people want to know this.
Mm-hmm.
Was he a fan? Did he know you from the movies? Or he was like, I don't care what you do. I don't know who you are.
He had never seen anything that I was in because he's younger than me and doesn't really watch horror movies. Now he will watch them if I'm at like a screening and it's playing and I drag him with me. He'd only seen Don't Tell Mom and the Babysitter's Dead, and he hadn't seen it. But he saw it when we first started dating. It came out when he got home really late one night, and he was like, I have to turn this off. This freaks me out because she's a child. Like, I can't watch that. It's totally weird to me. So he still hasn't seen, I don't think he's seen Halloween 5, and I don't think he's seen Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. He hasn't seen a lot of the stuff that I've done. But he's not in the industry at all, so he doesn't even, if I ask him what he thought about a movie afterwards, he's like, it was good. Or, I don't know, it was all right. So that's kind of the extent that I get when I talk about movies with my husband. He likes stupid humor movies. Yeah.
He doesn't want to see you probably as a kid because it's probably weird. You're right there. And probably...
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, it's totally weird. Weird him out. He's like, I don't want to see that. That's just creepy to me.
Well, you made that comment. You said he's younger than me.
Yeah.
You had to marry younger because you look like 20 years younger than your age.
And he still looks older than me, which is great. So people don't notice the age difference.
Yeah, because you play a lot of younger roles in your movies as well, and because of your face and how you come across and all that stuff. Did you ever think that you would fall into the horror genre like you have?
No, I never thought that this was even a possibility.
Wow.
I thought it was just in movies that I had done, and that was kind of it. And then it was off doing other things. And I would, just still be a regular actress auditioning for TV shows and guest spots, and just like everybody else. So I didn't think that it would be like this. But this is awesome. This definitely is better than anything.
Of course. Well, you've built a great following. You have a huge fandom, fan base, people that love you to death. They probably send you gifts, and they look up to you. They tattoo you on their body. I think
I know.
that's
It's
how
crazy,
far.
right?
Was that freaky to see the first tattoo of your
Yeah.
face on someone? How did you feel at that moment?
Yeah. I mean, there's some that are really cool. I mean, I still take pictures every time I see someone with it because it's like I can't even believe it. Like I wouldn't even tattoo my own face on my own body. So it's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
you're like it's crazy because
crazy.
Yeah, it's. When you ever go to events, do they ever show you? Do you ever get like people coming up to you and showing you their tattoos of you?
Oh, all the time.
You're like all the time.
You're asking me
all
the time.
Old
Yes.
ass schnit. You know, that's what you're
I
like.
know.
I'm used to this.
No,
already.
yes, they definitely like to. They definitely like to show me their artwork. That's for sure.
Wow.
But it's hard when they're not good, and then you're like, oh yeah, when it doesn't look like me, and I'm like, oh, it's great. That's really great, you know. But there's some that are like amazing, so it balances.
If there's one thing you could reveal to your fans out there that they don't know about you, or that you want to just tell them, what would it be?
Oh my God, I was just thinking the other day that this was totally random. So, you know, I started my career in beauty pageants, and everybody has these like special, like the talent portion. And I'm assuming everybody would think that like I would sing or dance or like do something like that. And when I was little, I used to be in a group called the Barefoot Cloggers. And clogging is like a form of sort of country tap dancing. And I was really, really good and used to travel to like competitions and stuff. So I haven't clogged in a million years, but I moved kind of out to the burbs in California, and they have clogging classes out where I live. So I definitely am thinking about getting back into it. It's very small. I'll probably be the only one under 70 in there doing it, but I think I'm going to go back and give it a shot again. But it's a very weird talent to have.
So you're going to become a clogging master.
Yes,
We'll see
yes,
you dancing
exactly.
with the clogging stars. How about
Yeah, for sure.
Well, hey, if you like it and it's an exercise form,
Yeah.
you might get a lot of people turning to it. You know, they might say,
Yeah,
"Hey, I'm joining because of you." So
there you go.
So that's one thing.
If you live in the
Wow.
South, you'll know what it is. That's for sure.
Well, you know, besides everything that you're on right now, is there any movies that's coming up that you could share with, or any kind of TV shows or anything that you're going to be part of?
Sure. I'm actually going to do my own sort of thing where I'm going to be doing a lot of live streaming and stuff from my house, where I'm going to review movies and do sort of a commentary with people that are in the movie with me. So, for example, if it's, say we're watching like Sleepaway Camp, or say we're watching like Friday the 13th, any one of them that like my buddy Kane was in. It'd be Kane and I on the couch watching Friday the 13th. And I would be chatting with him about the movie. And a lot of his movies I actually have not seen, so we see them for the first time. So it's sort of like a live commentary. And it could be, ideally it'd be like special guests or, people that are coming on that are surprises to people. Because I do have a lot of friends, and like I said, I haven't really seen a lot of their stuff. So they're just my friends. So it's kind of like us hanging out watching and being able to take questions from fans and chat with fans about it. Because I love old DVDs that have commentary. Like, I love listening to the commentary, and I just don't think that they do that enough nowadays. And I know I've never seen it live. So I'll be working on that. And it's called Common Terror with Danielle Harris. And I have a movie called Camp Coldbrook that Joe Dante produced that is premiering on February 14th, actually, in theaters.
So
yeah,
it's gonna be,
that's about it.
Another movie you're in. And I love that thing that you're going to do with fans. That's amazing. And with that said, Danielle, you are amazing. I know you have a busy day ahead of you. You are lovely. Is there anything you want to tell before we head out?
Just thanks for all the support, and I love you guys, and have, I guess, Happy New Year. Happy 2020. Let's make it awesome.
Yes, happy 2020. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have the amazing Danielle Harris.
Thank you.
Very down to earth, very amazing. If you want to reach out to her, you can reach out to her on Instagram. Her page is Horror Gal. Just Horror Gal. That's it. That's her page. If you want to go on her website, it's danielleharris.org. Check out her new movie. Check out her new show that she's doing. You can ask her questions. It's going to be amazing. But go to her website for all information on Danielle Harris. Follow her on Instagram. And with that said, Danielle, We are ready to sign out. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Galaxy, another amazing episode with Danielle Harris, the Scream Queen. And with that, Danielle, are you ready to blow kisses to the fans in the universe?
Sure.
Ready? 3,
Mwah.
2, 1. Mwah. Wow, you gave it ahead of time. That's it. You love your fans. Look at that.
Kisses.
Please keep her kisses, put it in your pockets, and save it for yourselves. Again, DanielleHarris.org or HorrorGal on Instagram. And with that said, peace.
Peace.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Instagram at Comic-Con Radio. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.